Okay.
Hello? Is there anybody there?
Yes, there is, yeah.
You went quiet for a minute. I thought you might have died. In which case you may come and stand on this side of the light.
Kind of looks like Ian Kellen.
Must be that Hobbit music you keep playing. We have to blend very gradually, you see, with the medium's energy, hence you'll see a shift in the dynamic as we take more fully over. This is because sudden energy change is not good for the medium's body. Can you hear me at the back?
No.
I will endeavor to speak up.
Yeah.
The energy shift can be detrimental to the medium's body. So it is important that we make transfer of energy fairly slowly. Rapid change of energy causes things like pancreatitis and diabetes. And you know this is commonly reported amongst many mediums. There is a shifting process, you see, between the medium releasing control and for the energy that surrounds him to take more control. So, does anybody have any burning questions they would like to ask?
So if you'd like to ask a question, just put your hand up and I can see it. Nobody? Okay, Lorraine.
Are you happy to be here today?
Yes, of course, we do enjoy not only your company, but of course the company of blending with the spirit energy. For we enjoy to educate and bring our knowledge and wisdom to this side. We have many, many recordings that have been made on our behalf that we will share with you through the website in due course, where we have imparted much knowledge of what happens after you die, soul groups, energy, quantum physics, etc. So yes, thank you very much. We are very pleased to be here.
Anybody else?
It has been said that the energy changes that started around 2012 are lifting the vibrations of the earth and the people upon the planet. Is that process likely to continue for many years?
Yes, there is a gradual change. For change energetically from your perspective can only ever be gradual. For you are vibrational creatures, and the change that is upon you cannot be rapid, for it would disturb your systems and ecosystems too much otherwise. So you are correct in that a change has begun, and a positive change. Many of your sensitive people will be aware of an energetic change, and they will find that they cannot work in the same way that they used to. For their energy is changing, and the way they connect with energy is changing. And this is deliberately so. For we wish to eradicate many of the dark things that you associate with your planet. There was always balance and harmony, of course. But there is no reason why we cannot be much happier as creatures and have more positive affirmations and have a self-belief in our own abilities. For you are all source energy, and as such, source energy allows you to do anything that you so set your mind to. It is your own limiting beliefs that stop you, and those are instilled upon you shortly after your birth. by your parents and your peer groups that say, don't touch that, don't do this, don't think that, we can't afford that, etc. And they become your limiting factors and mantras, which is one of the reasons why you'll see some of your startling success stories, particularly in your business world, have come from very humble beginnings when they have had nothing to lose. And therefore the rules do not apply and they don't care. That they've been able to shake off the mantras that shackle so many of you. Does that answer your question, my friend?
Thank you very much, yes indeed.
And probably a few others, I would suspect.
Could you tell us your name, please?
I am known as Bernard, but I am part of a collective group. I am a collection of many thousands of spirits that have blended together to form an intelligence. And I am merely but a mouthpiece name that comes through with this voice.
Thank you.
Imagine, as you will, a bubble with thousands of spirit energies blended together, rotating round inside and sharing knowledge and wisdom and joy. And we touch into this medium's energy with just a very delicate touch, if you like, so that we may influence thought. And we come through in the same voice each week so that you are familiar with it and not startled by completely different voices or languages. Well, language is another very interesting question. So language is a learned behavior, is it not? For you think in pictures and you think in senses, not languages. You are taught languages to interpret pictures and senses the moment you're born by your family and parents. And that is what defines some of your very essence, is the language you have learned, or languages that you may learn. But language is a learned behavior when you think about it. And we do not communicate with language when we pass to the other side. It is pure thought, and we have many more senses than you have. Your associated senses, your 5 senses, are very limiting to your vibrational body. For the senses that we have when we pass to the other side are very different. And there are degrees of senses within senses. So, for example, you hear music, and to a degree you feel music for its vibrational properties. But we may feel it, taste it, and have several other senses that I cannot explain to you yet, for you will not know what I'm talking about, for you do not have the receptors to understand.
So, from the back row, is there anybody that would like to ask a question?
Can our friend comment on some of the terrible hurricanes and things that we experienced in the last few days?
When you speak up, I cannot hear you in reverse now.
I wonder if you can make a comment or tell us what your thoughts are on the hurricanes that have been happening in the world that we've listened to.
I still cannot hear you, my dear. Your comments or thoughts on what, sorry?
On the hurricanes.
On the hurricane?
On the hurricanes, on your weather forces. Yes, there is not much to say, really. Are they heaven sent? Is that what you're asking me? Are they designed to cause destruction, or to wipe the surface clean? No. Are they generated by atmospheric cycles? Yes. For your planet is affected by solar flares and many other phenomena that occur that affect your weather patterns. But your weather patterns go in cycles, in millennia cycles. So your hurricanes are a result of that. Is that what you're asking me, or do you have a deeper question?
No, thank you.
So the row in front, is there anyone there that would like to ask a question? Richard? Oh, Richard. Go on, direct, and then we'll get you right.
There is going to be a certain star alignment this month. Can you comment on that?
Yes, I can. But I have to roll back a little bit first and explain some of the parameters to you. Firstly, there is a phenomena, your astrological charts. Many of you ask yourselves, if you are Aquarius or Leo or Libra, whatever, how can 1/12 of the planet be exactly the same? Is this true? How can my horoscope ever be real? How can all 1/12 of the population have the same qualities? And this is an interesting question, is it not? But let me put something to you another way around. If we suppose that the humanoid creature that the spirit is born into is affected by the stars and the alignments and the planets and the time of birth, etc., and if then you as a spirit can choose your timing of your birth to gain certain attributes, would this not make it a more interesting playground? For presume you decide to learn some lessons before you were born into this dimension and vibrational world. And may I add that there are several others that you can be born into, and different time zones also. But suppose that you choose to have a certain, let's say, logical disposition, a logical problem solver, who struggles with emotions, who struggles with things outside of the ordinary. Then you maybe decide that you'd like to be born during January and become a Capricorn, so that you have those qualities. It may be part of your lesson to overcome those and trust your inner being. Or you may wish to choose to marry with another person of opposite star signs and experience their perspective. There are many reasons why. So in answer to your question about star alignment, yes, star alignment does have an effect upon you. You are vibrational creatures in the vibrational world, and you are affected by the seasons, by the stars, by gravitational pull, by the solar flares. It is part of your vibrational dimension. What will a star alignment mean to you? It will mean different things to different people. But you will experience an effect, for you are vibrational. One of the questions we are often asked is, does the full moon really affect people? The scientists will tell you no. A nurse in a psychiatric hospital will tell you yes. For if the moon is able to pull the tides across your planet to its gravitational effect, and a large percentage of your body is made of water, do you think there might be an effect? Does it affect you mentally? Well, that's down to the individual, but there is certainly a physical effect. Should you go out on all fours on the common and bark at the moon? Probably not. Or you'll be meeting a psychiatric nurse.
Thank you.
Good evening, my friend.
Good evening, David.
It's a question about the nature of worship.
Yes.
Christian churches all talk about going to church to worship God. And they seem to concentrate on that to a very great extent, rather than perhaps helping each other more, helping the community more. Can you tell me, does God really need all of that worship all of the time?
No, the churches and religion are not for God, they are for man. For man's own faith sometimes needs to be focused and challenged, to remind himself or herself that they are a good person. There is also a power element within many religions, not all, but many, where people of power and maybe greed have written documents that say you must give me your money to build a bigger church, to be closer to God. And if you do not follow my way, you will not see God. But this, of course, is nonsense. Do you think source energy, as I prefer to call God, would penalize a starving child in Ethiopia, for example? For he does not know this religion and has no access to it, so should he be penalized and locked out of heaven? Of course not. God does not judge. Your reality is what you make it. Your religions serve purposes for different people. Some people need their religions and become a much better person because of it. I'm not knocking religion for the sake of religion. Each person must make up their own mind and how they feel and whether their religion is right for them. But know that source energy is the same to all mankind. and has been written throughout the centuries. The connection with source energy cannot be altered. It is not stronger in one person or another. They are just more aware of it. You may turn your back on the light, but you cannot turn it off. So in answer to your question, David,
Excellent, thank you.
I hope that satisfies you. Religion is always a very topical subject for people who have very strong beliefs. Many religions believe that I am the devil or the Antichrist because I am speaking through a medium. Therefore it must be the devil's work. And of course, what is the devil is quite another interesting question.
What is the devil?
You walked right into my trap. There is a balance, the yin and the yang, the Chinese say, the light and the dark, the dry and the wet, etc., etc. Does evil exist, I am often asked. And I repeat the question, you may turn your back on the light, but you may not turn it off. Redemption is available to all. Are there lower level creatures? Are there higher level creatures? Yes, there are. Should you be concerned and worried? No. You manifest into your existence whatever you focus your attention upon. This is your playground. You are born here to joyously create. You are born here to live your heart's desires, although you quickly forget once you are here. So it is up to you to manifest your reality. If you wish to paint your face red and stand upon a hill with a burning torch, so you may. And you will manifest what you seek. There is a control and equilibrium. There are many levels of vibrational energy in creatures. Ask me if angels exist.
Do angels exist?
I can't tell you. No, I'm joking. Yes, they do. There are different levels of vibrational creatures. There are higher level entities and higher level entities, and there are lower level entities and lower level entities. And the higher a creature vibrates, the less you may be aware of them. Some of you here have experienced contact with angels or believe you have. Is this not true?
Yeah.
So know that you are watched over. Should you be concerned for evil? No. Evil does exist, of course. There is balance. If you work within the light and you set your intentions on doing good things, then that is what you will manifest into your existence. If you sit there constantly living in fear of the dark and think it's hiding around every corner waiting for you, then you will manifest that existence. For this universal vibrational dimension gives you whatever it is you are feeling. Notice I said feeling, not thinking. That is a dimensional law for this plane. People say, I've been thinking about the lottery numbers all week and I'm not a billionaire. What's going wrong? Is this not true? And I say to them, you are not feeling that you've won the lottery, you are thinking that you'd like to, and therefore you are feeling the lack of winning the lottery, for you think the opposite of what you feel, and therefore you manifest what you feel. So by thinking, I want to win the lottery, you're feeling, I haven't won the lottery yet, and that is what you are manifesting. So to follow the universal law and manifest your heart's desires, you must feel as though you already have. For the universe cannot tell the difference between what you really have and what you feel you have. Which is why you see so many people with little conscience do so well, and other people with a huge conscience do so poorly and seem so unfairly treated.
Are we still okay to ask some more questions if they have them?
Yes.
Thank you. Tanya and Tanya.
Some say that we go through a 7-year cycle here of change. Things change around every 7 years on this earthly plane. Can you tell me, is this true?
Every cell within your body dies and is replaced within a 7-year cycle. So the you standing there right now is a completely different you to the you that was stood there 7 years ago. Every single cell within your brain and every part of your body has died and been replaced over that period. But that is not the same cycle that you were talking about. But it is proof of life after death, is it not? Yet all that knowledge, all that information is retained and passed on from cell to cell. Things you could do many years ago, you can still do. Even though you have renewed your body, you've retained all that knowledge. You've retained all those memories. Where is this retained? You could ask yourself. It cannot be your brain, for that has died and been replaced. It is obviously your mind, which is in your spirit. In your medical theatres now, they can clinically kill you whilst they're doing an operation. Not a very pleasant thought, killing you to fix you, I know. But they can stop your heart and freeze you, and you have no brain waves. You are clinically dead on the bus home. But they have been revived, and they've been able to recall the conversation of the surgeons and the music that was played during the operation. And again, your scientists are a little baffled by this. So again, where is the brain? Where is the mind? The brain is in the body, but that was dead, so where is this information held? Of course, it is in the mind. The real you, me, myself, and I. So the 7-year cycle that you refer to is only because 7 years marks a significant period of change. It's not truly a cycle in the sense of your life will change every 7 years. Your life, your body is constantly changing, and so is your life. It is just a convenient period for you to reflect.
Bernard, is it possible to set the intention of what work we'd like to do with the spirit when we pass into the realm of spirit?
Yes, of course, you have free will and you will choose. You may care to have somewhat of a holiday before you have to work again. You may stay in this vibrational dimension after your body has ceased to exist. You may go and visit all the holiday destinations that you wish you had when you were here. Or go and see those relatives and try and shout boo and things like that. You do not have to pass over straight away, for again you have free will. Although you will have an individual hanging around in the background waiting for you. Ready to take you across and guide you home.
Thank you.
Are there any more questions?
Yes, but do speak up.
Hello.
Hello?
I would just like to ask if you have any messages for anyone sat here.
Hey, we will come on to that shortly.
Thank you.
It's not my role, you see.
Hello again. Can I ask, is the earth flat or round?
Well, that's a very interesting question, isn't it? For the Flat Earth Society would swear blind that it's flat, of course.
Of course it is.
But it is round, as in all your planets are round, in the sense that they are rotating through space in a vacuum.
Any other questions? So now if you have one, somebody else is probably thinking of it too, but I don't want to say. Sally, turn again.
Sorry, thanks. Do you wish that you could inhabit a body all the time?
No.
Every day?
I'd have to have baths and things like that. No, much more fun to jump in and jump out. But we have much more joy in our existence than you do. We have a wonderful sense of well-being, albeit we no longer have a body, of course. People often say to me, how are you? Are you well? And I say, well, that's a stupid question. I cannot be ill, can I? But then I am not I am many. Which is also a bit hard to get your head around, I guess. And you are not you, if you could see yourself from my perspective. You are a fragment of your real self. Oh, I've started another question. You are a fragment of your higher self. A splinter, if you will, existing here in this dimension. And there are others of you in other dimensions coexisting simultaneously. Oh, let's put the cat amongst the pigeons.
So you can meet your other splinters,
They are in different dimensions, so you cannot meet them as such.
but you can communicate with them?
You can communicate mentally whilst you are asleep, and you do so and gain wisdom from your other selves. Isn't that marvelous? Go to sleep and wake up more intelligent. I think I should sleep more often.
I should.
But you gain wisdom. You say you gain wisdom with age, and you do in more ways than you know. For your path is complex, and you're here learning lessons, and your other selves are learning lessons that you have set out to do, and collectively the whole is learning a lesson. Or lessons, I should say, for it is a complicated structure. And each of you play a part in each other's roles. So if you liken it to a stage, where there are many stages with a spotlight on the stage, and you are on the stage, and you are performing a play that you have agreed to come and do, and other people have agreed to take parts in your play, and we are the audience sat in the dark watching you. You cannot see us, of course, from the stage. And there are many, many stages with many, many plays being played at the same time. And you agree to take a cameo role, if you like, in other people's plays, where you may march onto their stage and help them in some way, or maybe punish them in some way to learn a lesson. That's another subject and another question, but we won't go there right now. And that is how you play out your different roles. And your stages may be in different dimensions, in different time zones. And there are typically 6 of you at any one time.
That's a lot of trouble with some of them.
Yes, indeed. For a lot of trouble in one dimension can be the opposite in another.
So you mentioned time zones. So you're saying all time exists at the exact same moment?
It amuses us very much that you consider your time to be linear.
Yeah.
That you grow up and you die and then you start again and you're born again, etc. When you can coexist simultaneously across different time spans. And you may go backwards and be born again into a different era.
Backwards?
Yes, you may go back in time. This is what amuses us. You always think you go forwards one after another after another. Why?
If we can go backwards, that must alter outcomes.
No, because we wipe your memory first. That's why you have no knowledge when you were born here. That's why you are scratching at some faint embers of recollection. Well, imagine if you had your knowledge and wisdom from the future and came back and been born again in a previous time zone. Of course, anomalies do happen. You have all heard stories of children who remember their previous lives.
Can I ask your thoughts on DMT and ayahuasca?
What is DMT?
It's called the spirit molecule, and it is a hallucinogenic that they say allows your spirit to leave your body and enter other realms.
I see. Yes, there are many such substances, chemical substances, that will loosen your grip on reality, shall we say.
Do you promote to take them?
No, once again, we cannot promote. We cannot say it is bad, we cannot say it is good. It is down to the individual and the strength of the individual. Can we advocate taking your drugs? No. Can we say you shouldn't take them? No. Do they loosen your grip on reality? Yes. Do they also have an effect and an equal and opposite? Yes. So if you have some form of high euphoria, then you will have the opposite down. This is the balance of all things.
Thank you.
Can you enter parts of the spirit realm or other dimensions? You cannot leave this dimension wholeheartedly. You are always connected to it. You may astral travel, of course, but you are still connected to this dimension, to your body, until your body ceases to exist, and then you may go freely. So your substances, your chemical substances, they will enhance your ability to step outside of your physical self. That is true. But they may cause umpteen other problems. We are going to change now.
Thank you.
And thank you for talking to me.
Thank you.
You're not into wisdom.
William.
Yes.
Is that your name?
Yes.
Okay. See any change?
Francis.
Francis.
Richard. Richard.
Hello.
Let go, sir.
We said
Let go, sir.
Let go, sir.
Let go, sir.
You're hanging on. Time to let go. You won't get better till you let go.
Okay, thank you.
You know this. You can't make it. It won't. Release.
Little seeds.
Cool.
Fight the little ones you can't win. Not the big ones you can't win.
He looks completely different. Very small face. Doesn't look like Pete at all.
Jane. Tell Jane. The boy. The boy. Tell Jane.
Tell Jan. My sister Jan.
The boy. The boy will be alright. Jane.
We'll tell Jane the boy will be okay. Thank you. There's a lot of changes coming in now, so don't notice any changes.
Monty.
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 Monty. You are Monty.
Monty's here.
Monty's here.
Does anyone know that name? Monty? Do you know the name Monty? You have to get to the dance and stuff and know. Do you know the name Monty? No name. No.
Tell Monty.
What would you like us to tell Monty? Can you change that name? No. Watch for that name coming in. Thank you.
Ben says, tell Monty. Julie's hand. Julie's hand.
Julie's hand.
Julie.
Julie.
Julie's hand.
Thank you. Can you feel the energy changing?
No problem.
Well, if you see anything, remember the name and I'd like you to say it. Just in front of the medium, a lot of mist is coming. Some of you will be able to see it as like in colour or a different shade. And it's starting to expand right now in front of you. So it's coming close to you guys at the front.
Yeah.
So you're going to start to feel it. Feel it.
Yeah, I just had a jugger.
The second row will start feeling it if you haven't already.
It's got very cold.
And then you'll feel the solar plexus
Yeah.
pulling. You've got to let that go now because more energy is needed up there at the front. So just think you're allowing it to take place. So you'll start to feel pulling. And everyone on this side, please remember to breathe. Then remember to breathe in and out. We welcome you here today. For this evening.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. I'm trying to talk louder today. I may have to rock a bit to do it. Yes. I normally whisper, so a bit like that. But you won't hear me at the back, will you? So I have to shout a bit. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Good. Many faces. Many faces. Ha. Thank you. Did you like your questions?
Yes, very important.
Thank you. What's your question? Say your questions.
And when we're trying to help people, or think we're helping them, and you want something desperately for someone, are we interfering on their path? Because sometimes we're very fortunate to be able to see the bigger picture and realise that we can't do anything.
Yes. It's complicated because you can't change. You can't change anyone else. You can offer help, but you can't change. That they have to change, not you. You see that there's a difference between offering your help and accepting. So if you help someone who refuses help, then you can't help. But if it's meant to be, and you're inspired to help them, and they want your help, then that's meant to be. Maybe it's pre-written. Yes. You understand?
Yes.
Do you understand, madam?
Thank you.
It's
Anybody else?
yes. So, did you see my face change? Yes. We need some of your sticky tape on the light at the back. It's still too bright. Just in this direction.
That better for you?
Yes.
Is the red light okay?
Is that better now?
Yes. Try a little bit down.
Can you see some of the mask over his face?
Yeah, and you can see energy coming out of the mouth and like a mist in the back of his head.
You're looking more handsome now, Efford.
Because sometimes you see the mask lower down from where the eyes would normally be, just falling in front. And for those, depending on what side you are, you might see a face on the other side of the medium. So just keep watching. As it turns,
I'm seeing loads of face.
something is moving around from one shoulder to the other, so I don't know if anyone can see that. We would know it's energy, but
It's like a mist or a ray of light coming from his nose and mouth.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see the mask from his ear coming over.
Yeah.
lights are turning off all by themselves now.
Yeah, it's not me. I'm doing it a lot.
Hair's going dark and the left side is going very dark.
It's like his hair's been brought down, isn't it?
Yes.
Flat.
Yeah.
And it's longer at the back here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming down past his ears.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's said it's not tricks of your eyes, but if you see anything flashing around here, it can be what we know as to be yours, but they're just flashing. So if you see that, don't be afraid to say, because if you're seeing it, somebody else in the room can see it too. So look to the right side.
You got that moustache there, okay?
Yeah.
Richard, can you see anything from your side?
You just look oriental to me.
Right, yes, I've just seen that as well. Yeah, there's definitely changing in the face here.
Yeah.
And the hair is expanding and contracting as well.
His eyebrows get big and then they go
Yeah.
small, go bushy,
Yeah.
and then they go down.
And the hair goes and then it comes back. It's changing colour.
So now his face is going, there's a bit of fuzz going over it. Ooh.
Did you do that?
No.
I did it on its own, yeah. Okay.
Doing this on its own.
Okay, the mask's covering on the face now, it's all getting dark.
Come up again. Do you recognise any of the faces?
Richard, is anything happening there?
It changes very quickly.
There's transfiguration on the face, but it's altering. There's different faces going across.
It's almost fading into the dark completely and then coming back all lit up
Yeah.
and then back again.
I've seen the nose change several times to very wide and almost hook-like.
You can see the top of his head, so then it's going to be black and then it's going to be white.
So a little orb on his chest, then. And another one
Yeah.
on his midriff.
Turn David on that side of the room, can you tell us what's going
Changes.
on? Turn.
Yes, the hair keeps changing shape and colours and face.
Just keeps changing in and out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a different face.
You know, you've got time to study the one face.
It's changing so quickly.
Got silver mist, silver sparkles coming out. As
Yeah,
well.
did you see them? The eyes open then, didn't they?
For those in the front, the temperature's going to change again, so let me know when
It's still constantly the faces are constantly moving still across. You see bushy eyebrows and then almost oriental looking across the eyes. And bold.
And mist around the head, there seems to be so much silvery mist.
So over the left shoulder you can see there.
See the little sparkle.
fingers growing.
Is the elongated and sitting very upright.
Can anyone see a younger face?
Look like an older man now.
Yeah.
Curly hair.
Wider forehead.
What can you see? Sorry, Richard.
Hello. I thought you'd all gone out. Yes, we tried to show you some faces. Did you see some?
Some many faces, yeah.
Yes, those.
Yes, good. New. So very, very, very interesting for us to balance. Good. We thank you.
Thank you.
It is time for us to go. So we have to say God bless and good night.
God bless you. Thank you.
And we thank you.
We thank you.
Thank you too.
Hello.
Hello.
Glasses on the floor.
Thank you.
And that's me how I could see that. Thank you.
I'm alright coming back. Did I snore?
Yeah. I'm going to sit with them, sit as it is now with the lights on while they tell you a few things. So from the back of the room, if there's anything that you would like to share with us, we'll start with you guys first. So if we go to this corner, how did we get on? Chris, what were you able to see?
Just now I did see some sort of energy bounce up his right shoulder.
Yes?
Throughout his face was quite flickery, as I said to you. It was quite just sort of.
We spoke about this earlier today. If you were watching one of those cine camera films, you know the way it flickers on and off? Okay. You were seeing that, weren't you?
Yeah.
So we'll just go to Kathy.
I saw his face change, it looked like my jaw, he went really long face.
You did it,
It
yeah.
went big.
You'll be glad that they've come back to the normal size now.
Yeah.
We
I
did
saw the
notice.
ears change as well. Big ears.
Did you see it
Yeah, I
too?
saw that.
Yeah.
Not too big.
Yeah.
You did. You became very much like what I've seen in pictures. Kathy's husband sitting there, so we were able to see that from where Kathy is.
Okay.
Shirley?
Lots of challenges, different things.
Yeah, you're picking up on the energy coming away from Peter, coming past Richard and coming through the two just sitting in front of you. Yeah? So Tanya?
I saw absolutely loads. They were just changing constantly. Loads and loads. And I even saw my uncle that's passed. Yeah, my Uncle Tony.
Oh, well done. So to the ladies at the back, and then we're going to work to the front, these experienced people at the front.
Yeah, I saw some life changes.
Yeah? Okay, it's really interesting because we have a mixture of a group here, and it's always really nice to do that because we have people that have never ever done this before or came to anything like this. So we do really value your opinion, and that's why we need the feedback. So well done, and thank you. Loretta?
Yeah, I saw faces, and when we was looking at his hair, when his hair was changing,
Yeah?
it was like getting darker and taller. And then at one of the times, when he turned to the side, he looked like a really handsome young man.
I am. That was the real me.
Can I just say, when I squinted my eyes a lot, it looked like everyone was embossed. So it looked like, as I was squinting my eyes, it's making his face stand out more, and everybody else around was like, I don't know, it was, I don't know if it's because I was squinting.
What do you mean everyone else around?
Pardon?
What do you mean everybody else
Right,
around?
so these people here are
Sitting in front, looking
of
on.
you. So as I'm squinting, I can see all like your face and it's changing. But then these people, it was like, you know, you put an emboss on a photo to change it to
Oh,
a negative.
embossed.
It's like that around here.
Well, there you go.
Squinting a lot.
Okay, so David at the back.
Dozens of face changes from young to old, to facial hair, to without facial hair, oriental, lots and lots and lots of that. The philosophy, which I thought was wonderful, was disappointingly quiet. And I think, I know that one or two of us here missed a very great deal of it.
We have recorded it.
I'm sorry?
We have recorded it.
Okay,
There's a microphone down here.
that would be good.
And if you give me your email address, or take one of my cards and email me, then I'll share the recording with anyone who wants a copy.
Super, thank you.
Yeah, it's difficult because you have to remember that spirit talking to you, and they're using so much energy, and that's why, like, if there are any difficulties with hearing, although it's when you get to a place like this or you're going to sit, you don't know where to position yourself, but you can move around. That's why I was saying, if you can't hear, if you want to move, you can get up and come a bit closer.
Sure.
Because they're only going to speak the way that they can, using that energy. Okay, but they worked on it, didn't they, for later, which was quite magical, really. So thank you. Okay, so who didn't speak to us yet at the back? We'll go over. Sam?
I think it's not a huge change, but I'd say not many. I don't know if it was because at the back, I don't know.
Okay. Viv?
I have to say I didn't see anything.
That's okay. How did you feel sitting there? You caught in the energy? Did you feel calm?
I felt quite calm, yes. I didn't feel anything.
Okay. Well, that lady's disappeared. Sally?
Me?
Yeah?
Yeah, I saw all of those changes. Again, like Loretta, I saw sort of young, old, the hair's going dark, hair's going light. I saw flickering lights, energy around. Yeah.
Amazing. So Lynn and the two ladies at the back that I couldn't see before to speak, how did you get on at the back?
I saw a lot of changing phases, an awful lot. And I felt the energy really concentrated, very, very powerful. Made me feel quite a bit headachy.
Yeah.
I could feel the power of the energy getting more and more concentrated.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the philosophy very much when the first gentleman came through. But I couldn't always understand it, I couldn't get all of it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't hear, it wasn't the hearing, it was perhaps the enunciation sometimes.
Yeah, of course, yeah, different words.
I knew that it was something marvellous.
Yeah.
Well,
so luckily,
if the recordings come out okay, then you can all have a copy.
Thank you.
So just take one of my cards and then email me.
Thank you.
So before we jump to the row in the front, Eunice?
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes?
I can't understand why at one stage I saw his face as a skeleton.
Yeah.
It does happen.
Well, I know it happens.
Yeah, it does happen, but you did see it. It's just that's why I was asking because I don't want to say things that I can see that is going to put it in the mind of anybody else. That's why it was your experience, and I was saying, if you see anything, speak up, and then we'll find out. I'm really pleased that you saw that, because I know that others here have seen it too.
Did anybody see a Downs? Somebody that looked as though they've got Down syndrome.
Down syndrome, yeah, I saw that.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's the real me.
I know an answer to give you for that, because I know, but in your opinion, okay, seeing the Skellington of somebody coming through.
Oh, I don't know, it's a new one on me.
Okay, it does happen, okay, and sometimes they're just coming through, and if you leave it time and they stay still, they can also place around them the image of the person that you know. And we've watched that build, we've watched the energy build around the skeleton, and then we've seen it in the form it's meant to be. That's new for you.
Yeah, it is.
We have Martin. So, Tony and David, do you remember Martin?
Yeah.
The skeleton coming through.
Yeah.
Okay, and also it's sometimes they use it as a mirror image of the person, so the skeleton of the person comes forward. we worked out that a young man who sat for us before and that happened, that he was meant to have been a twin. So were you meant to be a twin?
Yeah, and I ate the other one.
Yeah, the other one. Okay, so there's all different reasons why, but okay, they will explain it to you in another way. He's not going to, but then when I sit with you, or we'll give you messages and you were to ask at the time, they will come forward. Many of you ask questions, and to be honest, some of the questions you asked, it was wonderful. It was unexpected, but the way that Spirit handled those questions and answered them, you have to admit, was wonderful, because they came back with specific things to say to you that actually struck a chord with each of us here. So we know that that was right. So remember, when you see anything and you need to ask the question, at the question time is the time to ask, and you'll get the answer direct from Spirit then. Thank you. So who now in this row? Okay, Lindsay. David, did you answer?
No. The answers to the questions were wonderful, and it was really interesting for me that not only were the questions answered, but the philosophy went on to explain more, which was associated with the question. When it came to changing faces, it was just like a rolling film, flashes of different faces. They just kept rolling. Yes, I saw the skeleton, but I saw some faces that I would say were not of this world.
Okay, thank you.
Really interesting. Thank you, Lisa.
Lindsay?
Yeah, I saw many faces. I saw the skeleton with the skeleton hand.
Well done. And could you feel the energy moving around you too? Because we could see it, and I know that everyone in the front could feel. Thank you. Sir Richard?
Yeah, temperature was definitely going up and down. Definitely feel the temperature, and you could feel it coming across. It sat at the front here. Feel it going across your knees. Very cold across. You could feel it going straight across your knees, and that was good. When I was sat face onto Peter, he was a lot slower, the transfiguration, but side on from here, it almost was going quicker. So looking straight on, it was a very slow and more stable transfiguration. But from the side, I could almost just like you were saying then, almost flickering and change, especially towards the end, sort of changing rapidly.
Yeah, that's what Chris could see.
Ears going. I seen the forehead coming down. I definitely saw like a Down syndrome. I was unsure whether I actually saw a woman or a girl jump in between. It was almost like it was trying to get like a female form and then jumping back but definitely older than you look now. Let's say that.
Thanks, mate. Good answer.
Everything was definitely a lot older looking from what I was seeing. But with the questions and the answers, it was quite funny because Nuala asked me a couple of times to ask a question, and I shook my head and said no. But I was going to ask you a question, and you answered it. I thought, if you answer this, then if you can. And then you started going on about multi-dimensionals and how many layers of dimensions there are, which was a question I was going to ask you, but I just thought you've answered that. So that's fantastic, which is the intelligence of spirit, isn't it? So
yeah, brilliant.
Really, that was a good demo, I think. Very good.
Brilliant.
Cool.
Hello.
Dean. Yeah.
Dean.
Yeah, it was really, really good. Good questions from the audience. Great answers. Super interesting. Transfiguration was just constant all the time, which was lovely. And yeah, very impressed.
It is amazing, isn't it? Because it's the first time all of us here as a group have sat together to witness this.
Yeah.
And spirit do alter energy around us, so it blends to change so that they can do the job that they came to do with this one. Okay. So how did we get on there?
I love the philosophy. particularly the bit about winning the lottery. I'm going to have to go back and listen to that.
We have to listen to that.
The I had prime view. The transfiguration was phenomenal, but I have to say, different faces to what I've seen. So I did feel they were for the group rather than people that I started to recognise when we've worked in smaller groups. Yeah. So I do think there was people coming through here, but it is a new experience.
It's new, isn't it?
It's flickering, so it's, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to get this one more practice working with new people to be out there to do this on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
What people will think of us out there, I'm not too sure, but, you know, we'll go with the ones that we
haven't worried about that so far.
Yeah, we don't never worry. Okay, so how do you get that?
I was overwhelmed actually, because I could see a great deal more by sitting here. The changes and how intricate they were, and he was electrified. It was just one electrified head, if you like. I lost his body.
Yes.
Yeah. Could you see like it was like that coming from the sides?
And I do feel that Spirit was giving everybody a chance to see the changes that could occur, and the philosophy was fantastic.
Just wonderful, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And Cersei in there? Terry?
Yeah, I saw lots of changes myself in his face. I recognised Bernard straight away because he always comes to me the same way, you know, his looks.
Yeah.
And the answer to the questions was phenomenal, especially the religious one, because I wish I could explain in and out those
well,
terms.
we can now because he's recorded it.
When people ask me about God, I wish I could explain it that way.
It was recording earlier when I pushed it.
The thing is, in life itself, we see many changes, and there's so many personalities around us. Even if you come from a large family, or an Irish family, or whatever family that's not, there's so many different personalities in that one family that you end up mimicking one another or picking up habits off of each other. Okay, so when a group comes together that isn't always sitting together, yes, the energy changes, but how quickly today, with Spirit's help, was Peter and me able to stabilise the energy, if you like, and create that harmony between us all. And we all became like one, didn't we, in the group? And we all wanted each other to do well. And it's all these positive thoughts. If you always want the other one to do well, then they will reward you with doing well as well. Okay, so we all know it's not competition. So as you've been sitting tonight, it's never a competition. Just because somebody else is seeing it and you're not able to see it, I don't want anyone to go home worried about that. It just simply means that this time you weren't meant to see, or where you were sitting prevented you from seeing the things that others did. But know for sure that Spirit have been here and they've been around you. And those of your loved ones, there was so much going on behind you and the changes, as Richard was saying. I had to step back from there because it was happening so quick. So I am aware that all your loved ones were here tonight, as well as those who work with you. And of course the Spirit guides who work with anybody else here that is mediumistic. So for me, a big thank you to all of you. We're allowed to clap here.
Yes.
But a big thank you. He's not shy, really.
Thank you.
Okay, big thank you. Yeah, okay. So if you're all going to get up and have a stretch, I've got no idea what time it is.
Put some lights on, yeah.
I don't know.